Good. All right. So assuming my frame is not frozen, let's start marching our legs. Back to the old familiar march. I doing this 5 days a week. I start to get kind of caught up in doing the same things. So I'm going to try and shift it up here. If you're seated upright and you can swing your arms with your march, go for it and try and even turn your chest. So you're lifting your left knee and turning left. You're lifting your right knee and turning right, which means the opposite arm is actually swinging forward. And what I'm going to do is mute everyone also because I'm getting a lot of extra sound in, and that's going to be switching the frame around for when I'm trying to record. So let's step our feet out wide and rock our heels and toes. And I'm going to go up and mute everything. You go ahead and rock your heels and toes. Okay, I think we've got everybody muted except me now. And the sound should be pretty good for me. So there we go. Okay, we're out here, yeah. Let's go ahead and just swirl one leg out. Let's step our feet, rather, make sure you're steady with your feet in front of you and then take a foot out and circle it around. Doesn't matter which, I'm just suggesting your first impulse might be the one. Circle your foot the other way. It looks like my mom has joined, which is great, from Colorado. Go ahead and switch to your other foot and circle it around. Draw circles on the floor. Of course, I can't see my mom nor hear her, but I'll talk to her later. And Mom, there's Jenna there, my girlfriend. And everyone else, of course. There's Jenna, my girlfriend. These are her beautiful mobiles that she makes. Actually, they're not really in view today as much, but over the weeks, you may see many different ones come up. Let's go ahead and sit up and take your hands to your knees and lengthen up your spine and arch your back. And then let's let our knees fall towards each other and round our back here and pull your belly in and reach your arms forward, shrug your shoulders to your ears so you're stretching your backside, and then turn your knees out, toes out, lift your heart, arch your back. Inhaling, turn your knees towards each other, toes towards each other, round your back. Exhaling, go back and forth there a few more times. Take your time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close or round. Inhale, lift that heart up, roll those shoulders back, and then exhale, shrug your shoulders to your ears and round. Give it one more time. Inhale, turn, open, lift your heart, look up even. Exhale, turn your knees towards each other, toes towards each other and round. And then sit upright. Walk your feet back into the center. Take your arms to the sides. Turn your palms open to the ceiling and just stretch right out of the shoulders. Can you circle your arms now as they're straight here, just trying to be stable and safe with your shoulders, but give yourself big or slow, I should say, circles. They might be small at first, and then you might add circumference to the circles. And then go the other way. We're trying to warm up these shoulders, whatever's available here. Do try to come forward as much as you go back, right? So I'm going to turn 3/4 so you can see how far back I'm going and forward. Good. Take your arms all the way to your, alongside your ears if you can. And then pull your left elbow down and reach your right arm up. Stay facing me. So we're just side bending here. And then pull your right elbow down, reach your left arm up and side bend. And switch again. Left elbow down, right arm up. Side bend and reach, and right elbow down. Lengthen up out of that left sitting bone to the right. Good, back to center, both elbows down now, and pull your elbows back. Even turn your palms out. See, we're squeezing here, trying to get our arched back here and elbows towards each other. Big lift to the heart. We'll go for a little more dive now, the backs of the wrists together, turn those arms over, turn your head down, round your back out. Deep breaths. And then sit up and swing your arms alongside your hips there, just swinging. Today, or right now at least, I'm just gonna ask for your spine to stay totally steady. So we're not leaning forward or back. We're not compensating for shoulder mobility by leaning back to get our hands higher or anything like that. Just swing your arms to their full range with your spine steady and upright. Reach back and reach forward and up. Even more detail might be when you reach your arms up, notice if some of you may arch your back to get your arms up. Maybe try and duck your low ribs down so you're actually sort of working the shoulders against that tendency to arch the back, just for a little awareness and different kind of action there. Great. The next time we go up, we're gonna stay up one more time with those arms. Circle ankle or wrists, ankles at the ends of our arms here. Keep circling now. Now, for some reason, it seems to indicate my sound is not as loud as Barb and Roy's right now, and I'm not sure why. Circle your wrists the other way. Go out wide to the side, circle those wrists. I know we're working our shoulders quite a bit here. Circle the other way. And then release your hands to your knees. We shrug our shoulders to our ears and then relax shoulders. And shrug and relax. Give it 2 more shrugs and relax and shrug and relax. Good. Now, keep your eyes forward and swivel your chest left and right. Keep your eyes forward as you try and turn one shoulder under your chin and then the other shoulder under your chin. And you might be rolling the opposite shoulder behind you, yeah? Sliding your hands along your thighs, getting a rotational spine practice here. Now, set your chest to face straight forward, hands on the knees, and just turn your head left and right without anything else. Breathe. A little deeper breath sometimes, just to tune in a little more and settle into the body you're in right now. And then nod your head yes, just lifting your nose up and down. And then maybe draw like tipped over figure 8 with your nose. So an infinity sign with your nose in front of you. Finding more different neck flexibility and movement. And then reverse your nose around the track there. Go the other way around the track on that figure 8. Now I've got earbuds in, and as I move my head, I can really hear all of the sandy sounding joints in my neck. Some of you may have that as well. That's not a problem, unless it is, which your doctor may tell you. But if it doesn't hurt and it's just a sound, sometimes that's just the way it is. Go ahead and look forward. Let's do just a little more action in the hands and feet so we reconnect to the very ends of the body. Again, step back a little with my chair. In fact, I'm going to adjust my screen just a hair here. There we go. Move this just out of the way. So we're here trying to alternate your feet, but not your hands. Then speed up your hands, but keep your feet alternating. Just go faster with hands. Feet are still slow. Now alternate your hands and your feet. Maybe you're at a different pace with your hands than your feet. Okay, now go ahead and put your feet together and see if you can alternate your hands still. Feet are together, hands are alternating. Good. Release that, lift your heels, swivel your heels out, toes out. We're gonna heel toe our feet out wide to the sides and back to center. Do a few ankle, shin, calf muscle kind of work here. Lychee feet going out wide and back to center, and then back out wide, stay wide. Get your hands on your inner knees, lengthen your spine up and lean out. Put your elbows on your knees, push your knees apart, push your heart left and right with your elbows now. So you're swaying a little left and right. Take your time, no hurry about it. In fact, try to explore a little more depth each direction. Spend a little time and press a little more, lengthen a little more. Now I'm doing both a side bend and a turn, so you're welcome to do whatever feels good here. Or explore a bit more rotation or a bit more lean. And then sit back up and step your feet to the center. Take your arms wide and overhead, inhale. Exhale, set your hands to your heart. Arms wide and up again, inhale, big circle. Exhale to your heart. One more time, widen up, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. Now holding your hands at your heart here. Once you're settled here, close your eyes. Just explore getting your spine a little more buoyant over your sitting bones. Notice the weight of your body on your sitting bones and on your feet. If your hands are at your heart, that's fine. If you want to have your hands on your lap, if that's more comfortable, that's fine. But take a few moments here with your eyes possibly closed. They could be open if needed, but the important part here of turning your attention to your body, acknowledging your body and the resilience, strength, flexibility, capacities that you have. And whatever has been stirring in your mind and heart these days or this morning even, open up to it. Don't necessarily reject it. We're not trying to turn away from anything in this centering practice here. At the beginning, it's more of acknowledging as much as we can and creating a stable container for it all, knowing that we can breathe and find a steadiness and an ease with whatever challenges we might face. Or I should say a little more steadiness and ease. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's about practicing, cultivating just another layer or a steadiness and ease. And use your breath to talk to your nervous system here. Take long, slow inhales and exhales. Feel the life energy that your breath is contacting there. Sensations in your lungs, nervous system, receiving your breath. Gravity giving you foundation, whatever is touching down. If you like, here, dedicate your practice to something that matters to you, that touches your heart, that's worth doing this practice of resilience building for. Cultivate healthy orientation to ourselves in this practice so that we can connect to those things that matter most to us. So we can live the life we'd like to. So in dedicating your practice, now we'll chant 3 ohms. I encourage you to put your attention right on the ohm as it's happening, from the very beginning to the end. From the top to the bottom, the whole arc of that ohm is a story in your body and your voice. So practice your voice here. Nice long exhale with voice. Inhale an ohm. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale all the breath through your mouth. One last full inhale and exhale. Once you're done there, open your eyes, release your hands down to your knees. I can see that you're all still hearing me, which is great. Let's go ahead and let's see, take your hands to your hips and start to walk your sitting bones left and right here. We're trying to lift and rock. And if you've got a rocking going that's significant enough, try and actually swivel when you rock. So you're rocking and swiveling now, walking one sitting bone forward and then the other until you get to the edge of your chair, and then go back to the back edge of your chair or whatever direction that is. Forward and back. Give yourself as much as you can the pelvis tilt and lift and swivel. Feet should be staying largely steady on the floor. Now, when you get to the front edge of your chair the next time, just do a rocking forward and back. Now, gentle rocking. Think of your sitting bones as rockers on the bottom of the rocking chair. You're rocking to the front and back edge of your sitting bones. And I will turn sideways to give a little more view here. Turning, rocking forward and back just to bring awareness to our pelvic tilt here. Now, when you rock forward the next time, meaning you're arching your low back, lift your heart and actually pull your elbows back. Now, I go pretty significantly here because I do this all the time, but lift your heart up. Yes, good. And even look up. And then send your hands forward, rock your pelvis back, reach your arms forward, and find a domed position in your back here. Good. Give it one more time. Elbows go back, heart lifts, pelvis tilts to the front edges of your sitting bones, and then round and send your arms forward. Now, in this position, I'm just going to invite that we bend our elbows a little bit, almost like we've got a giant beach ball in front of us, and we're pantomiming like we're leaning on a giant beach ball. So rounded back, arms, elbows bent slightly, shoulders shrugging to the ears, and it's just a little more like energy through the center here, this space that we're hugging. And then imagine that beach ball is really hot and you want to resist all your skin off of the beach ball. Now, this is an odd direction to give you, I understand, but see if you can just sort of expand the space, keeping that shape, which means I'm trying to ask you to like hug all the front body into the back body, hug the underarms up into the elbows, and see if you can make more space there. Then turn it all over. Take your arms, elbows into your ribs, lift your heart, squeeze the space in your back body now. Elbows squeezing towards each other, palms open to the ceiling, pelvis tilted forward. And arching now, the beach ball's at your back. You're trying to resist your back away from that beach ball, but make the same shape. And then release your hands to your knees. And let's just swivel our shoulders in sort of a swimming action here. So rotate and turn and see if you can actually get a little swimming action in your upper body. Feel free to let it flow a little bit and swim around. And then reverse that direction, whatever you can cultivate. Yeah, so it was a backstroke for me, and now I'm going sort of a front stroke, bringing one shoulder forward and then the other. Good. Even let your elbows help, right? This action doesn't have to look pretty. It can just be functionally useful to get into your muscles there in your back. Now, let's go into a swimming action. Let's do front stroke here. Just swim and turn. Take it slow. Now imagine there's some resistance. The air is heavy. It's actually water here, and you're pushing against the water, meaning you're activating some isometric energy. Now backstroke here, not quite necessarily going to get us anywhere in the pool if we're backstroking this way, but we are getting nice opening in the shoulders. So sort of a backstroke, the elbows leading the chest backwards. Yeah, good. Take your arms out wide and push your palms straight out to the sides now. Steady pose here. Sitting up tall, reaching through the heels of the hands, palms facing out. Good. Take your palms, the backs of the hands to the shoulders, and then push back out. So just like in Star Wars, the trash compactor there, you're pushing out and trying to hold it open. And then let your backs of your hands go to your shoulders and then push out. Straight. Good. Backs of the hands towards the shoulders. One more time. Push out, reach out. Stay here now and flap your wrists. Really get those wrists going, not just the fingers if you can. Wrists going fully. Yes, good. Now alternate. Good. And then release that. Shake it off. Set the backs of your hands now on your thighs. So we're going to go for a full collapsed slump here. Call this a puppet on a shelf pose. Just collapse your spine here. Backs of the wrists on your thighs. So you can really just, all you're doing is trying to stay upright, but use almost no muscles to stay in a seat rather than falling off your chair. A passive stretch of the back body here. Passive, letting your head fall as far as it will, letting your neck go completely. Maybe your thighs could relax more. Maybe your belly could relax more. Slowly unfurl to sit up. Look forward, take your hands to your knees. Lean out now, pull yourself out over your legs and arch your back. And then just lay yourself down all the way on your legs. You can let your arms come to the sides. You can let your elbows rest on your knees if that's better for your back. Let your head fall completely. Again, now you've got even more access to letting your head extend your spine, right? If you can relax those muscles, the neck vertebra might have a little more space between them, or at least less tension between them. Gently unfurl to sit up again. Once you're upright, extend your legs one at a time, straight off the knee. So activating those thighs. Not lifting the knee too much, just straightening out like you're trying to put a flat footprint on the floor or on the wall in front of you with the sole of your foot. Once you get out with your left leg, the next time, stay out there, point and flex your foot. See if you can stay upright in your spine. This is working the core and the low back as well, but if you need to be stable, hands on the chair. Good, release that leg, extend your other leg, right foot, flexing and pointing out in front of you. Good, release that, wag your knees in and out to release anything in your hip flexors that just activated. Step your feet out wide. Get tall in your spine. Good. Now we're going to do some twisting and reaching here with wide legs. So be your own judge of how your low back is doing. We're going to turn left and reach our right arm up to the left. High, yeah, and then keeping your knees wide. And then release and switch and turn and reach your left arm up to the right. Keep your knees wide. So we're keeping our legs stable in this particular movement, and switch back to center and then reach your right arm up to the left. And back to center. Keep your knees reaching wide as you reach your left arm up to the right. Doesn't matter how perpendicular or all the squareness of your body that you want to get. Just keep going here, twisting and noticing the activating muscles that turn your body and also the activating muscles that stabilize your legs. Good, reach another couple times. Last time on each side. Once you've reached left arm to right the last time, come back to center and walk your feet back into the center. Wag your knees out and in again. Step your feet neutrally here. Let's go ahead and send our arms forward. We're sitting on the front edge of the chair now, so we have to have room behind us to get a little lean back. We're going to go for sitting ups. Sitting ups? We're going to be sitting up. Sit-ups here, please. So the arms being sort of trying to stay loose even in your shoulders and neck, even as you're holding your arms out there, right? So palms facing the ceiling might help relax your shoulders down. If your palms face the floor, that encourages your shoulders to hug your neck a little bit more, just slightly, right? So find a most comfortable, even as it's challenging, position with your shoulders here. Good, and the next time you come up, let's lean forward and reach out. Yep, then sit back up, hug your belly into your low back, make sure you're rounded slightly in your low back and lean back. Touch the back of the chair, sit up, then start to lean out and reach as far out over your legs as you can. Then sit up gently, belly hugs into the low back, rounding slightly in the low back as you lean back. Touch the chair one more time, sit up. Lean forward, engage your belly, reach out as far as you can. Hold this now, hold this. Another breath, working those shoulders, working the muscles on the back. This is modified warrior 3 pose in a chair here. Working that back body from your sitting bones up. One more breath, good, good, good. And then release your elbows to your knees and slump and rest here. Wag your head left and right, trying to relax your neck any amount. Take a heavy sigh or anything else that's gonna soften layers of nervous system gripping or tensions that are from the last pose that you don't need now. In fact, I'm going to encourage a little rhomboid push-ups right here with our elbows. Now, this is, you can look up here, but yeah, looking up is fine. Elbows on the knees now. So we're doing this bench basketball player pose as we've talked about in class before. But the idea is the elbows stay in place, the heads of the arm bones stay in place, and you dip your heart down between those heads of the arm bones and then dome up your heart away from the heads of away from the floor. So you're kind of melting your heart to the floor and pushing away from the floor with your elbows. The elbows stay in place, the heads of the arm bones largely stay. Like those upper arms are just supports for you to activate flexibility and mobility in your shoulders here. And try and let your shoulder blades squeeze together in the back, creating a valley, and then dome up your spine between the shoulder blades as you resist your heart away from the floor. So back and forth there a couple more times, just finding different kind of flexibility and strength built. The next time you push into your elbows and dome up your back, feel free to dive your chin to your sternum and try and get a dome right between those shoulder blades and up in the base of the neck there. Like you're trying to reach those few vertebrae right at the top of your shoulders and below your neck curve, right into the ceiling. And then gently sit up and look left and right, arch your back any, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you're sitting up. So just countering that. Now, take your arms forward again. We're gonna lean back and slow all the way to the back of the chair. Resting now against the back of the chair, march your knees, keep your arms forward here. Now we're resting against the back of the chair. I'm gonna turn to the right and march our knees. Now I turned left, I know, but I'm trying to do the mirror here for now. It doesn't matter, we're just staying turned to one direction and marching knees. And then turn the other way and march knees. So try and turn your heart as much as your hands are reaching. You're trying to mostly turn your heart more than, the hands are just trying to sort of lure your heart to turn. Good, turn back to center and take your arms slightly wide. Here, march your knees. Good, lift your left knee, hold it up. Maybe float your right foot barely off the floor, this asymmetrical position. Let's add an asymmetrical arm wherever you want. One arm up, one arm down. Good, drop it all down. Wag your knees in and out. And then lift your right knee up, float your left barely off the floor. Take your arms in some odd asymmetrical position. Circle those ankles just for fun, wrists and ankles. Just don't fall off your chair, please. Good. Release it all, open up, go for a big spread eagle position here now, reaching as wide as you can with legs and arms. Take up space, claim the space around you, breathe into it. Wiggle your fingers and toes out at the ends there. Zip your legs together, your arms together, stretch in one big line now as best you can. Now some of you may have hands on heart or one hand down so that your shoulder is stable. Whatever your arms allow, reach back and high and lift your eyes up to the ceiling. Clasp your hands behind your head as long as you're still stable on your chair. Side bend to your left here, lifting your right ribs. Turn your eyes to the right. So you're opening the right side, open your heart a little. So you may find that you go into a little forward bend or rounding in the spine. See if you can get more arch in the spine and side bend. Turn the other way or side bend the other way now. Lean shoulders off to the right. Lift your left ribs, look at your left elbow. Open up that left side as best you can. Breath will do some of the work here. Nice. Release your hands back to center. Set your chest back to center. Set your feet on the floor. Stay reclined now. Take your left knee up, grab onto it and round your back, forehead towards your knee. Circle your left ankle. Breathe. Maybe just check that your right foot is steady on the floor. Go ahead and sweep this left knee left and right now. Using either a strap if you need it, or you can bring a towel in. Can we turn this into sort of oval shapes, sideways ovals, so long to the left and right, but a little bit of circling instead of just sweeping. And then turn that oval, go around the track the other way. Go way wide. The next time you get wide, just stay wide with this left knee. Take your right arm out to the side. Open up your chest. Push your left knee into your hand. So you're resisting. Your arm is winning this little battle, but you're pushing your left knee into your hand, thereby getting a little stretch and activation in your left hip. Open your chest. Reach your right arm out. Can we circle the left ankle and flap the right wrist linearly? So the right wrist is doing a linear flapping, left ankle is doing a circular circling. Switch the circling, keep the wrist going. Make sure one is linear, the other is circular. Good. Switch hands, same knee, other hand. So your right hand grabs your left knee, pull the knee across, maybe draw again, add, you're trying to turn your heart. Also, turning your heart left. So you're pulling this left knee across your chest to your right elbow, right shoulder. Take your left arm out wide to the side. And look at that left arm. Now start to touch your left thumb to every finger on that hand, back and forth, sequencing. As you do, flex and point your left ankle. Good. Good. Turn back to face center. Take this knee out wide. Now, can we externally rotate the knee so it's a little out wide to the side, the foot's a little inner center before we cross the ankle on the knee? Rock this shin bone in front of you a little left and right, as long as your knee doesn't hurt. And maybe some of you may even be able to draw it up a little closer towards your chest. Pull it up nice and tight. So this is not tight exactly, that's not the best word, but up as high as you can with that shin bone parallel to your chest-ish and the knee wide. Now place the left ankle on your right knee. Let your left knee fall open. Set your right foot solid under your knee. You may sit up. All of you know this pose from tens of times that we've done it. So breathe and lengthen and roll shoulders open. Another breath or two. I'm seeing that my mom has logged in twice. So I've got two versions of my mom in this screen here, but neither of them have a camera on her. I'm sure she loves that I'm pointing her out right now. I hope I'm pleasing at least one of those versions of my mom there. Give it another couple breaths. I think I see people smiling, so it's clear that my voice is still being heard. Is that true? Wave your hand if you can hear me. Okay, good. That's a good sign. All right, we're gonna do a little twist to the right. So your left ankle is on your right knee. You're turning right, so to the open hip here, not towards the knee that's up, but towards the open, the leg that's solid on the floor. Tall spine and turning now. Now we're just gonna, again, do a little turn of the head the other way. So here we're turning chest right, head left. All of this is awkward, possibly. Getting a stretch in the neck. Finally, turn your eyes into the corners, the right corners of your eyes. Eye sockets. So you're looking right, your head's turning left, your chest is turning right, your legs are staying steady front. You got this awkward pose, very awkward. Go ahead and release all of that, please. Uncross everything, step your left foot to the floor, wag your knees in and out, do anything that will reset you to center here. Maybe it's an arch and around, a little cat-cow. Maybe it's a little lengthening. Let's go for a forward bend, whatever it is for you. Elbows on knees, all the way down to forward bend. And long breaths. Again, notice if you can let go anywhere else. If there's gripping that is under your capacity to let go of. So much of this practice is about making space, finding ways to relax where you don't need that tension or gripping. Go ahead and sit back up. Take your arms wide before we go to the other side. Just arms are wide. And then up overhead, inhale, and reach here. Can we just swivel our ribs a little left and right, or really think of it as like rooting into your left sitting bone to reach your left arm up, rooting into your right sitting bone to reach your right arm up. Good, go out wide with a cactus pose here. So good, goddess pose now, pulling your shoulder blades together in the back, elbows are back. Great, close your elbows in front of you now. So you've got a gate like elbows together in front of you as best you can, palms facing your face here. Elbows are as high as your heart, yeah? Now, turn your left elbow open, leave your right where it is. Turn your chest left. Turn it all back to center. Left elbow comes back to center. Open your right side here. Right elbow goes back. Left elbow stays where it is. Chest is trying to open to the right. Come back to center. One more time each side. Left elbow opens, chest goes with it, heart goes with it, eyes go with it. Knees do not go with it. Come back to center. Switch, the right arm opens, twisting. Knees stay steady. And back to center. Good. Release that and just shrug or release your shoulders in any way. Maybe it's a little locomotion action. Maybe it's a little butterfly action. Maybe it's just a neck thing. I'm just doing whatever random movement I can find here. Maybe you move in a way you've never moved before. Send your arms forward and lean back against the back of your chair. March your knees here. Now you can also get your self just barely off the back of the chair so that you're hovering there a little bit off the back of the chair. This would be called modified boat pose here. Turn your chest again to the left and squeeze your knees to your chest. Good. Turn your chest to the right. Keep squeezing your knees to the chest, marching. Come back to the center. Open your arms a little bit wide. Shoulders open, palms face the ceiling. And lean all the way back. Go back into the spread eagle position. Stretch out, breathe. Maybe you hug your arm bones into your shoulder sockets even as you're reaching your elbows straight and your fingers straight. You're reaching out as much as you're hugging in. In this way, there's sort of energy countering. So you have both directions going and you can activate both directions. Zip your legs and arms together again, one big line here. Stretch back and open. Point those toes. Awesome. Even looking up, arching up over the back of the chair if that feels safe. Release your hands to your belly, step your feet to the floor, facing forward. Now we're staying leaning back. Bring your right knee up, grab onto your right knee and roll your forehead towards your knee. Circling your ankle, hugging that knee in stretches the back side, yeah? So stretches the right hip, right glute, right low back. If you dip your forehead towards your knee, that's also stretching the right or the neck. You could be exploring where your shoulders are gripping here. Maybe you shrug your shoulders away from your ears to get a little more stretch in your neck. Deep breaths. Then lift your eyes, sweep your right knee left and right. Good, good, good. Like what I'm seeing with everybody, very good. Now turn this into an oval shape. So it's a little more of a circular action, but it's still primarily focused on getting wide and narrow across the body. That's the direction we don't always move as we're walking around in the world or running or doing any front to back action, this left to right stuff, trying to get flexibility and openness in our hips here. Circle the other way. So you're similar, still left and right, but just tracking around the oval the opposite way. Then hold the knee wide with your right hand. Take your left arm out wide to the side. Again, set that left foot solid on the floor. So it's really the stabilizing leg here. Pulling your right knee wide, lift your heart, resist your right knee into your right hand. So you've got some action going there. Circle your right ankle and flap your left wrist. Notice if you look at your right ankle, do your eyes confuse your left hand, for example? If you're circling your right ankle, does your left hand change if you start looking at your ankle? Circle your ankle the other way, keep your left hand flapping. Now look at your left hand and see if that changes the action of your right ankle. Yeah, so where your eyes, what information your eyes are getting may help or hinder this challenge here. Go ahead and grab your knee with your other hand. Now left hand on right knee, pulling the knee across the chest, taking your right arm out. Even rolling your left shoulder, left ribs to your right knee here to add more twist. Again, you might be resisting your right knee into your left hand, rooting your right hip down, looking at your right hand. Touch each finger on that hand with your thumb. And if you can, open your palm wide every time you touch a finger. So you're like trying to pull your fingers away from each other as much as you're squeezing them towards each other each time, yeah? Then circle your right ankle. Or no, point and flex your right ankle if we want to do exactly the same we did on the other side, but maybe we don't. Symmetry is not required. Very good. Go ahead and release that action. Take your right knee wide. One last thing before we place your right ankle on your left knee. Turn the knee wide, turn the foot in, and rock that shin left and right. Now, some of us, our knee's not going to be happy with this. That's fine. You don't have to tweak it. I'm not looking for a tweak on the knee, but I am looking for an external rotation of that right thigh bone as best we can get it. And that shin bone's a good place to leverage that a little bit, but not to hurt the knee. So you're rocking this left and right, and then place your right ankle on your left knee. Oh, I forgot. We could, if you really were hungry for this, lifting the shin bone, pulling it up close to your chest. I am a little bit hungry for this. So that's what I'm doing. But again, there's many variations, and maybe the foot's so close to the left knee that you're pretty much doing it already with your left ankle or right ankle on your left knee. When you're ready now, place your right ankle on your left knee. Sit up if you're going there. Lengthen up your low back, roll your shoulders open, and breathe. You can even sort of metaphorically, you're imagining your breath flooding the system and seeping into your right hip here, softening it as you exhale. Your breath like a wave on the beach, rinsing the sand. Hold this 2 more breaths. Emphasize any amount here. Low back lifting, shoulders relaxing. So activating long spine, but not gripping anywhere that's trying to help that doesn't actually help, like your jaw. When you're ready here, we're going to turn left. So the right hand will be on the foot or somewhere forward. The left hand will go around to the side. Turn your chest as far left as you can. Now this can be a pretty awkward feeling pose. Do not do this if it seems to strain places in your back that doesn't feel good, or your knee or other things, yeah? So just be mindful of all the parts here. And I want you to not injure yourself so that you can come back to yoga next week. Now, as you're turning your chest left, turn your head back to the right. Look over your right shoulder to the right. Any amount here. Try and turn your chest further left, even though your head's staying put. And then turn your eyes into the left corners of your eye sockets. So you're looking left, you're turning your head right, you're turning your chest left, your legs are steady. Odd zigzag in the body, just to confuse all the parts. And then let it all go. Uncross your right leg. Do any movements again that will release that confusion, yeah? Maybe you close your eyes if that caused any dizziness, yeah? Let's go ahead and do a forward bend. Just forward fold, elbows to knees. If you want to start there, your knees may be narrow or wide. And then if you want to go further, feel free to go further, chest to knees. If your legs are wide, or if you want to change that up, I'm just offering many options here. You could widen your knees enough to get your chest between your knees. So you're folding down even further. Your arms are inside your shins. And you're hanging out and down through your legs. But again, not at the expense of safety. So what's a safe resting forward bend for you right now? Give it one more breath. Gently lift your head, sitting up, stepping your hands to your knees, walking your feet back to center. Breathe wide and up overhead, inhale arms, hands to your heart, exhale. Continue these circles big now, down by your hips, out wide to the sides, up overhead, inhaling. Exhale to your heart. Now we're going to go the other way, but the hands go together now, up overhead, inhale. Exhale, push out wide and down like you're bursting through curtains or through the ocean. Turn it over. Sorry, I'm just doing, not even describing. You choose which way. I'm going to kind of go back and forth between hands going up the center and then turning out and wide and down. And then from there, turning over and lifting up, wide and up, and then back down the center. That's what we'll do. We'll do one more of those. Hands together, shooting up, inhale. Turning out, pushing wide and down. Exhaling there. Turning your palms over, lifting wide and up, inhale. Hands to the center, down to the heart. Awesome. Now, let your thumbs rest against your sternum and turn your chest left and right. Try and turn the chest, not just the arms. In fact, try to keep your thumbs stuck against your sternum. Good. Turn back to center, release your hands. Can we cross the left knee over the right fully? This will be the last thing we do before we stand up here. Left knee on top of right. If that's not a happy place for you, just cross your ankles, please. Totally fine if the ankles are crossed and not the knee. Don't make it so hard on yourself that your knee is way high and you're trying to sit upright. I'd like you to be able to sit up nice and tall with your left knee on top of your right, or your left ankle on top of your right. In any case, we are tall in our spine. Take your arms wide now. So we're going to do a modified eagle pose now. So the left knee's on top of the right. Take your left arm under your right and hug yourself here. So here we're hugging the midline. Left leg on top of right, squeezing down. Arms across as safely as possible in your shoulders. Now some of us have a little bit of flexibility from here to put the backs of the wrists together here. This is eagle arms, whether it's modified this way, or modified even your palms coming together. These are all options, and they're not one better than the other, except the one that works for your body. That's the one that's better. But I'm trying to stretch the back muscles and the upper shoulder blades a bit. Good. Now try just leaning down and put your elbows on your knees. Now if this is, again, tough on your low back or doesn't feel stable, you can sit more upright. Some of us who have those arms crossed might be able to reach the elbows out beyond the knees and kind of hug the knees with our elbows here. So this is a bowing eagle pose or a forward bend. It's also could be considered a Gomukhasana or cow face pose modified. I can describe that later. Good. Go ahead and sit back up. Release your arms, keep your legs crossed, open your arms to the sides. Now turn to your left so that your left knee's on top. Take your right arm to the outside of the legs. Take your left arm up to the sky. So the back arm is up to the sky, the right arm is outside the legs, and you're rotating your chest to the left as best you can. Squeeze those legs together strong, engaging your belly. So you're stabilizing your pelvis and your pelvic floor as you're reaching up with your left arm. Now, some of you may slide your right arm outside the legs further down. So you go into a forward bending twist, eagle legs here. This is odd feeling and work here. If you want, reach your left arm a little more just parallel to the floor and turn your chest more open that way. So you reach back and high. Yeah, so my left arm is back there. Yes, good. Take your left arm along your ear. Sit back up if you lean forward and release and take your hands to your knees. Shrug your shoulders in circles. Now keep your legs crossed here. Lean back against the chair. Hug your belly into your low back. Scoot your butt forward on the chair. Grab onto your chair. A lot of you know where we're going here. Try not to get too stirred up about it. Hug your belly into your low back and see about lifting your legs and lowering your legs. Crunches. As always, reminder that if the further forward your hips are on the chair, the more access you have to a reclined position, the more access you'll have to your core. And safety for your low back is always determined a little bit more by hugging the low ribs down and keeping them down. Keeping your chin down and low ribs down as you lift and lower your legs. Give it one more lift and lower. Maybe pausing at the top of the next lift. Circle your ankles. Push it a little bit into what growth feels like, uncomfortable. Go ahead and release your legs, go wide, stretch out, breath here. Hug your thighs under your thigh bones. Hug your arms into your shoulder sockets, but reaching. So, good. Release your hands back. Push your way up comfortably or safely, rather, to a seat again. Arching around your spine if that feels useful. Now again, other side here. Cross your right knee over your left if that's available. Otherwise, right ankle over left. Sitting up nice and tall. So this sort of self-satisfied pose is what I've often described it as. Just looking very kind of... That's the words I got, self-satisfied. That's all I could say. Now, squeezing your right leg down onto your left so you have that core engagement and the stability in the legs. Take your arms wide. We're going to wrap the right arm under the left here. Yeah, and hug ourselves. Whatever amount. It could be forearms crossed down lower. Could be elbows trying to get so that they're actually right on top of each other. Could be hands are trying to get to the shoulders here. Sit up tall, good. Again, some of us may have a little more to go. Some of us can put the backs of the hands together here because if the elbows are crossed, that's possibly available. or even the palms together here. So yeah. Sitting up tall, lengthening, forward folding now. Just getting different stretch in our back here. Elbows hugging over the knees possibly, or just laying the elbows on the knees. Two options there. A couple more breaths here. Now I'm going to just turn to the side so you have a better view. I'm just trying to figure out how I can get the best lighting in here. Another breath in this awkward pretzel of a pose, classic yoga pretzel. Go ahead and sit back up. Good. Keep your legs as they are. Take your arms out wide. Open the chest. Can't remember how we got there exactly. I think just take your left hand to the outer right leg, right arm up along the ear, and turn right. So now it's a twisting version. So your right arm is high in this, on this side as you're turning right. Your left arm is down the outside of the legs. Maybe you start to lean forward, pushing your left arm to the outer legs. Maybe you reach your right arm over the back of the chair a little bit more parallel to the floor. So it's a forward bending, rotating, twisting pose here. Yeah, so one more breath, trying to roll, push into the left arm to turn your chest more right. Gently take your right arm up to the sky, sit up, turn back to face center, put your hands on your knees. Everyone okay here? Hands on the knees, lean back against the back of your chair. Keep your legs crossed or your ankles crossed, whatever it was there. Hands on your chair, hug your belly down, start to lift and lower your legs. As I always say, of course, lifting and lowering is not the most important thing. It's not about whether your legs come up or not. It's about whether you engage your core and relax your core over and over again. That's the action. Engaging your belly into your low back and hardening that core up and then relaxing it. The legs is just a good lever for that. The legs provide the weight that our core can work. Yeah. Now, the next time you get your legs up, if you can hold them up, circle your ankles. Keep your breath going, keep your neck and jaw relaxed as best you can. Some of you may even have free arms here. Again, you may even come up off the back of the chair. Some of you may try and balance in boat pose. Boat pose is just on our sitting bones with our knees up and our chest up and nothing else touching anything else. Go ahead and release it all, please, and go open and wide. Breathe. Set your hands on the chair, step your feet to the floor, sit up. We'll do assisted lunge. I really feel the need for an assisted lunge here. So assisted meaning the chair is helping us. Step your feet out wide. We'll do a final thing here. Turn towards your left and turn your right knee towards the floor and reach your right arm up and extend your right knee back and lift your heart up and look up through your right fingertips. This big crescent lunge shape here. Your left sitting bone's on the chair. Your right might be off the chair. All of you are familiar largely with the shape of this pose now. Keep your eyes up, your heart reaching up. Left hand is stable on the chair here. Some of you may again come off the chair into a full lunge with no sitting on the chair. Your left hand may be on the chair to help your balance. These are options and you may try them at home if you feel safe, but go for a challenge. Go ahead and release your right arm, turn back to face center, step your feet back to a steady position wide here. Switch sides. Knock your left knee towards the floor as you turn right. Set your right foot under that knee so you're in a steady lunging type position with your right sitting bone on the chair. Take your left arm along your ear and extend your left leg back as you reach your left arm up. Stretch out here. Again, some of you may come off the chair if you like with your right hand on that chair. So it's supported by the chair in some way. Always check that your right knee is not past your right ankle if you can, so you're not doing a deep sort of stressing the knee out. One more breath, reach high and reach high with the left hand and back with the left heel. Go ahead and release that. Sit back down if you came out of the chair, come back up to face forward, wag your knees in and out. So good, everybody. Very good. Step both feet wide. We're going to stand up here. Step both feet wide and back closer to the chair. Lean out, reach out, maybe towards the floor. If you want, practice getting your butt up first, then walking your hands up your legs to stand up. Find a steady standing position. Step your feet back into neutral. Get your chair around. Find a place where you can have a steady standing position behind your chair. Once you get there, if you're there already, whatever, start to march your heels into your buttocks here now. Squeezing. Good. And then step your feet a little bit out wide to the sides. Turn your toes and shift your weight left and right, bending one knee and then the other. Take it slow. I worked on this in yesterday's class, really trying to define the difference between shifting the hips and leaning the chest and just bending a knee and letting your hips and upper body just scan left and right or track left and right. Yeah. So think about that final suggestion as the goal here is you bend a knee and your upper body just tracks to the left and right, but it doesn't lean, it doesn't find a different cant to the floor. It stays perpendicular to the floor the whole track through. Good. Now come to center and squat, and we're going to do almost exactly the opposite of what I just suggested. So now we're going to launch up to a straight left leg, and the left arm will reach, and you might even lean a little, but we're trying to even find a balance on the left leg with the right foot somewhat free. Right hand can be on the chairs for stability, and then go back to a squat through the middle, both hands on the chair. And launch up to the right leg high, reaching like a layup from your right leg to right fingertips. Maybe the left foot's free, and then back down to a squat, both hands on the chair. Then launch up high to the left, reaching, leaning, whatever height you can get. Right leg is possibly free from the floor. Come back to center, squat. Launch to the right, up high, right leg is solid. Good, back to center. Try it one more time. Left, inhale. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, down. Right side, inhale. And release, good. Now, stand up neutral. Heel toe your feet into the center. Now we're gonna do some power steps left to right. So we're gonna lunge, take a big step as best we can. Hands are on that chair. When you lift the leg, make sure you lift the knee high and turn with the knee as you lunge and step out, yeah? So that was my demo. Now we're gonna actually do it, yeah? Lift your left knee high, turn it out, step it out and land solid. Now your left arm could go up if you are stable enough to leave your right hand on the chair. Now when we come back, you might do it in sequence so that you're stable. Left hand goes to the chair, then push off, step back to center. So Roy, come back to center here. I can see you. Lift your right knee, turn it out to the side, step solid. Reach your right arm up now. Good, we're taking it slow at first here. Right hand goes to the chair, push off from the right leg, back to center. Yeah, so just, I want you to think about that sequence. If needed for your hands, to find your hands back on the chair, you might, in order to return, you might set your hand on the chair before you push off and step back to center, yeah? Let's do the leftward step again. Lift your left knee, turn out, step, land, reach. Good, push off back to center. The hand comes to the chair to really find that stability. Good, right knee turns out, step, land, reach. Good, back to center, right hand really hits that chair to make sure you're solid using that chair, yeah? Good, turn left and step. Nice. Back to center, make sure that hand is on the chair because that's where the stability comes from. Turn right and step. Nice. Back to center. Good. Good, good. All right, I'm just going to call it out now. I'm not going to move at all because I just want you to do what you hear. Step right. Back to center. Okay, some of you appears like some of you may not even be able to hear me. Barb and Roy, can you hear me? Wave your hand. Okay, all right. Step left. Very nice. I'm not moving. Good, back to center. All right, I'll move with you. Step right. Back to center. Step right. Back to center. Step right. Nope, gotcha, because you're watching me and not listening. Back to center. Step left. This is my test. Are you just watching me or are you listening to my words? Back to center. Very good. All right. Let's step our feet out wide. We're done with that for a moment here. Step your feet out wide, bend your knees, and shift your weight left and right in a squat here. Yeah. And then we're going to turn and do this sort of like opposite to lunging squat. So now as you shift your weight, can you turn to the opposite side? So you're shifting your weight right, you're turning your chest left is what I'm asking. And your right leg is straight when you turn right, your left leg is straight when you turn left. So this is a complex movement of twisting and lunging and shifting weight. This is how we're going to enter our hamstring stretch, well, in a second here. Go ahead and stand up and step your feet back to center. Now, I'm going to ask that you step a little bit away from your chair, not super far, but a little bit. And you could do this in your chair seated if you like here, Roy. We're just going for a full hamstring stretch. So extend your right heel out to the side and your toes point up. Hopefully you can all see this. Yeah. Bend your left knee and bow towards your straightening right leg. You might even put your right hand on your shin, folding down as far as you like, pulling your right thigh bone up into the hip socket. So you're hugging the right leg back up. Your left knee should feel stable enough here, so don't let it feel tweaked. If it does feel tweaked, you may want to do this seated, or just straighten out the left leg a little more. It's totally fine. You don't have to deeply squat in the left leg, but the right leg is trying to get the hamstring stretch here. You're still using your chair for as much stability as needed. Good, go ahead and stand back up, step back to the floor, switch sides so that your left leg goes out. I'm just switching around. You don't have to change your chair or anything. You don't have to move anything for yourself here. Step your left heel out, bend your right knee, and bow towards your straightening left leg. Now again, you're pulling your left thigh bone into the hip socket, which really helps find that hamstring stretch. We're trying to actually counter the reach of the leg long by hugging the hip back. Again, if you want to do this seated, absolutely great, totally fine. What hamstring stretch works for you right now? Give it another breath. Gently make your way back up, stand. Step your feet back onto the floor. We're going to do a forward bend, turning our chair sideways so that we have the seat of the chair available to us, yeah? Walk your feet back, you're sideways to the chair. You can put your hands now on the seat of the chair and forward fold maybe your forearms to the seat of the chair and reach your, keep your hips over your heels. So the goal here is not a lot of weight in your arms, but the seat of the chair being super stable reference for your arms. And trying to find a nice deep forward bend. Stay there for a few more breaths here. So good, everybody, stay there. Any amount you want to go, resting further if you like. Gently walk your way, hands back up the chair and come up to stand. Good, good. Now, standing up here, is it possible? So again, you could do some of what we're doing seated here. What I'm going to ask for is a standing position stepping the left foot up onto the seat of the chair. The high side, the back of the chair is on the right, so that you can have your right hand on the chair and your left foot on the chair. Yeah? So everybody turn your chair sideways if you can. If you're doing this seated, that's totally fine. It's essentially the lunge we already did, but you can step that left foot forward and try and slide the right leg back. So we're stretching this front left thigh. Yeah, if you're seated, if you're seated. If you're standing, your right foot's on the chair, you might step your left foot a little away from the chair and find a lunge here. Lunging your hips forward, taking your left arm up to the sky, your left foot's on the chair here. So just to be the mirror for you. Right hand is on that chair to stabilize. Lunging here, stretching the front right hip flexor and thigh. And then rock your hips back. If you've got this left foot on the chair, rock your hips back and forward fold towards that left leg. Second hamstring stretch here. Left hand down onto your shin. Hips go back, straight left leg. Right leg is solid on the ground. Forward fold. So we're stretching this left leg, left hamstring. One more breath. Good. Lift your chest up, step your left foot back onto the chair and then back down onto the floor. Yeah? If available now, turn the chair the other way. Flip it around to the other side now. Yeah? Jeannie and Ralph, yeah, you're doing so much work there. That's good. Left hand on the chair, right foot up on the chair. Yeah? Again, if you're seated, totally fine there. Roy, you can do the seated version. Right foot up on the chair, left hand on the chair, right arm up along your ear. You might, again, some of you may be able to step that left foot further back. So when you lunge, you get a deeper opening in the front left thigh, sorry. I keep switching between the idea of the mirror and not sure whether I should give you this mirror, yeah? But the right foot is up, the left foot is back, reaching the right arm up, the left hand on the chair. Big opening, lifting your heart, pushing into both the chair with your right foot and the floor with your left foot. One more breath. Good. Release your right hand. Now we're rocking our hips backwards a little bit to get this hamstring stretch. Extend your right leg. Hips go back as you fold your heart down over that right leg, extending. And when I say fold down over, it could be high. It doesn't have to be a super forward fold. Especially if you're rounding in your back a lot, try not to round your back too much. Lengthen out the low back. Take another couple breaths. I know we're doing some hard work today, and as any time I see people take breaks, I'm happy to see them do so. Take care of yourselves out there. One more breath. Gently lift your chest up and step your right foot back onto the floor. Make your way to the back of the chair. One more time, just holding the back of the chair. Widen out. Now step your feet as wide as you can. Yeah. Swivel your toes to the left and lunge your left knee. Stay facing me though. So we're in a warrior two type pose. Knees are separating away from each other. Your pelvis is square largely to me, to the back of your chair, rather than turning your chest to warrior one. This is warrior two open now. Arms, if you want, either the left arm only or right arm only, or both. Find stability in warrior two. This is our final standing pose here. And we started a little late today, so that's why I'm going to go possibly a little over time today. If you have something you need to get to, totally fine to leave the meeting early. I understand, or not early, but leave the meeting on time. Very good, just holding this. Good work, breathe, yes. Nice, hands on the chair, straighten out your left leg, turn your toes to the right, lunge your right knee. As wide as you can go in this stance here, nice long stride in your legs. Right knee not deeply bent past the ankle, right? So I'm using my own video to see where my knee is, and that's very helpful to have some of that mirror. Take your right arm out to the side. Your left arm might go out over the other side. Again, this is a very open pose here. Open arms, shoulders, collarbones, hips are open. Chest is facing me, lunging though in the right knee. So that left leg is straight, your right knee is bent. You're working the underside of the right leg possibly. Think of it as almost the squeezing, you're squeezing the space between the legs here. You're like hugging like horse pose would be. Even as your right knee's bent, your left leg is straight. One more breath, open collarbones. Stretching out, hugging in all at the same time. Good, hands to your chair, turn your feet back to parallel. Walk your feet possibly back, scoot your chair forward. We'll do a forward bend with wide legs now. I'm just going to turn so you see. Nice wide-legged forward bend. You're welcome to go hands on chair and hang there and reach your arms out over the chair even. You could even just hang your arms on the chair. Stretch long in your side body here from hips to fingers. If you're already there, feel free to go all the way down to the floor. Stay at the floor level where you're hanging out. Hands on chair, books, floor, whatever it is, stable. Another deep breath. Walk your hands back up the chair. Gently make your way upright without getting dizzy. Please keep breathing, keep breathing. Come back to stand solid. March your knees to release anything that may have been gripping in a way that's not necessary. Good, let's turn our way down onto the floor. So I'm gonna come to our backs right away. As I've been doing that this week, I'm not sure if I'll continue that or start doing hands and knee stuff as well. But today, go to your back right away. So when you're ready, go ahead and sit on the floor and then rock to your back, or walk your way down the chair and then to the back. I'm gonna adjust my microphone here. And you're still hearing me, I hope. Yes, yes. Go ahead and lie back on your back if you're ready for resting pose. If you're on your back, we'll do just a final pelvic lift and lower. You might do, step your feet to the floor under your knees, roll your pelvis up off the floor and back down, bridge pose to resting, bridge pose to resting, back and forth. Inhale, lifting pelvis up. Exhale, rolling pelvis down. And I might invite robot arms here. So your forearms are perpendicular to the floor so that your elbows push straight into the floor and your shoulders push straight into the floor, and you lift your pelvis up as high as you can and your chest reaching high. Back and forth here, arching your back and lowering. Inhale up, exhale down. When you get to bridge pose the next time, you might pause and hold. And holding here, so much can be gained from squeezing muscles again onto the bones in the pose. So hamstrings, glutes, active, the underside of the bridge here, active. And even trying to reach your knees long out of your hips. So think of reaching the knees forward out of the hips to stretch the thighs. Give it one more breath. Slowly roll your pelvis back down to the floor. Take your knees to your chest and take any circles with your knees that you like. Hands could be on your kneecaps and circle the knees away from each other and back together. Deep breaths. Circle your knees the opposite direction or a different direction. Breathe. Finally, hug your knees to your chest, curl your forehead up towards your knees, try and get into a little egg-shaped ball here. Rock a little in that egg, so you're rocking around on the muscles in your back with the weight of your body, massaging your back muscles. Then release your feet to the floor, send your arms out in a T shape on the floor. Arms staying in the T shape. Can you swivel your knees left and right? Like windshield wipers here, slow windshield wipers. Allowing the twist in your body, allowing your hips to swivel, allowing your back to have the space, allowing gravity to take you in the direction. Pause in one of those twists if you like, allowing more of yourself to give in to gravity. Doesn't matter if your legs are together or apart, just letting yourself go into a supine twist here, and then swivel your knees the other way and pause the other way if you did so, if you paused. Take some breaths there. Maybe very asymmetrical sensation here. One side may feel super comfortable, the other less so. That's okay. Breathe and again, sort of practice this container, practicing building steadiness and ease in your body with your breath. Come back to center with those legs. If you need anything else before you go to Shavasana, feel free to do those things. Maybe you bicycle your legs a moment. Maybe you just reach one leg out long and then the other. When you're ready, start to rest on your back. Your arms may go wherever they want to go. Maybe your palms are against your vital organs, one on your belly, one on your heart. Maybe your big toes fall away from each other and you let yourself just fall into external rotation with the legs. Shoulders relax, collarbones relax, jaw relax, eyeballs relax. Even the muscles that focus your eyes behind your eyelids, can you relax those muscles? Like you're intentionally allowing your vision to blur behind your eyelids. Maybe there's tension there you can let go of. Maybe there's tension in your ear canals or in your sinuses or your brain in your skull itself, just allowing your brain to rest into the base of the skull, into the back of the head if you're on your back. Breathing and letting your collarbones and shoulders relax, your elbows relax, your upper arms and your lower arms and your fingers and palms relax. Allowing your belly to relax and your ribs to relax, pelvic floor to relax, front hip sockets to relax, thighs relax. Let your glutes relax and your hamstrings relax. Let your kneecaps relax, your shin muscles relax. Let your calves relax and your Achilles tendons relax. The backs of your knees, can they relax anymore? Let your ankles relax and the tops of your toes to relax. The soles of your feet and the insteps of your feet to relax. Settle into trusting gravity will hold you down, that you've got nowhere to be and nothing to do, but breathe and allow. Allow all things. No particular thing in your focus right now. Stay here for a few more minutes. I'm going to be silent for a little bit. Just stay resting. Take your time. Deepen your breath a little. Stretch your arms and legs a little. Give yourself a little hug if you like, or twist, or any movement that feels good in your body, from the fingers to toes, wrists to ankles, shoulders, hips, knees and elbows, spine. When you're ready, make your way upright to a seat or stay lying down. All totally fine, whatever position suits you right now. Feel free not to hurry out of this pose at all. Maybe you just stay lying down, and then when we're done, you just go back and take a nap. That's fine too. That's one of the conveniences of doing this at home. You could stay in Shavasana an extra 20 minutes if you want. If you're in a stable place, take your hands together at your heart and close your eyes. Take a moment here with your eyes closed and your attention on your breath and your body. Acknowledge the work you've done here, connections you've made to yourself here through this practice, the challenges that you've confronted, worked with, the growth that has happened from those confrontations or connections or dialogues, I might say, rather than confrontation, but dialogue with your body. Also acknowledge what you dedicated your practice to and find gratitude for those things in life that matter to us and for the practices that we do in community that bring us closer to those things that would matter to us. Gratitude for this community as well, gratitude for all communities across this planet that support and sustain us, of all living things. We'll chant a final Om in honor of all that. Inhale. I bow to the light in your heart. It's the same light in my heart. Namaste. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you so much for joining me today.